Hi there and welcome to the show. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some tactical strategies you can use to hold down a lead. Yes, sometimes we can be 2-0 up. The AI can decide it wants to go into a high compact block that can ruin all your plans. What can you do? That's coming up. Even sides like Manchester City will change their tactics. And against Liverpool, that's exactly what they did. Whenever Liverpool went into a high compact block, Manchester City would shift into a 4-2-4 because as Liverpool shift into a high compact block, they will leave space down the flanks. It's very normal. A lot of sides that play with a high pressing style will usually leave spaces open because they're committing so many players forward, trying to prevent you from playing the ball out from the back. Sides like Liverpool don't always commit to a compact block high up the pitch all the time. It will always depend on the kind of goalkeeper that the opposition has. So if I was faced with a top-heavy system that's applying a lot of pressure on my back line, I would be very comfortable playing out from the back. Why? If you have a keeper like Ederson, a really good keeper, and this really depends on your keeper. If your keeper isn't good at distribution or kicking, then you can't play this. You need a keeper who's good on the ball because your keeper is the +1 in defense. He's the extra player that will allow you to draw that block higher, allowing your players to get around the press. And this is the important bit. You don't want to be lofting the ball because you want to keep possession of the ball. So the idea here is not to use direct passing, which is something that I see a lot of players doing. You want to keep the ball passing short. There are players that can pass the ball long. These two roles can do risky passes. Up top, this is the key. You want to hold position and stay wider on both the inverted wingers. This allows you to stretch the back line of the opposition. That's where all the space is whenever somebody is pressing you high up the pitch. Finally, the two roles on top. It's easy to go with a double AF combination because for some strange reason in Football Manager 22, it's been there for a while, AFs, they kind of drop off as well. So they don't always attack at the same time. Both roles have moved into channels, so I've added take more risks and dribble more, so they will be a bit more aggressive. So this is one way of setting up a system that can play out of high press. So once again, I'm using the Total Tactics Tester to test things out. Of course, the link is below in the description of the video in case you want to go get your hands on it. This is going to be our tactical setup for this game. Standard line, a much higher line of engagement. I'm only going to trigger press halfway. What I've done is I've given all these players tackle harder, close down more. So the front group is being given close down more and tackle harder. The rest of these players are just left alone. The idea here is let's not go chasing after the ball. Okay, so we've taken the early lead from a long throw. Mario Rui into the box. Bremer hits it on. The defense can't clear the ball. Fabian knocks it back. And then Louis Muriel turns around and he scores the opening goal. Here we go. Mario Rui with the ball. We can see that the two volantes are here. The wingbacks are in a good position. The strikers are putting a lot of pressure on the back line. The inverted winger is coming to support play, right? So he's dropped deep to receive the ball from the Regista, and the other striker is actually shifted to the left. Now this happens because AFs have moved into channels, so they're going to move in between these spaces. All these spaces, it's open for the AF, which is the reason why I've gone for the roll. So the Regista gets the ball, the Volante pushes it to the advanced forward. Now this is the reason why we're going with the advanced forward. The advanced forward does drop deep. Now he plays it back. Again, we keep the ball relatively well, and then they use the full width of the pitch. This is where the inverted winger has gone. He's pulled the entire defense to one side because he's been told to stay wider and hold position. This opens up the pocket of space for either one of these players to take advantage of. So Volante gets the ball, the inverted winger still has the ball, and now the Regista looks for options. He's going to play to the advanced forward. The advanced forward has dribble more, goes into the box and tries to square the ball. Now the opposition have the ball. They're trying to work the ball up the pitch. And again, they come in and the defensive block is perfect because the players aren't running all over the place. They intercept the ball. The advanced forward takes it forward. The Regista brings the ball up. We lose possession of the ball, but we're still in a very good position to maintain the press. We pick the ball up. Once again, the Volante to the Regista. We are not giving the ball away because the danger when you're using a deep 4-2-4 is losing the ball. If you lose the ball too early, By playing these longer passes, you could have these passes intercepted. Once again, the AF, the movement between the lines is something that we want, because verticality in your tactics isn't just about moving the ball up and down, it's about stretching the opposition as well so that you create space between the tiers. Here you see the team playing the ball out from defense, and all I do at this point is look for options. What we want to see is triangular passing options down the flanks, keeping the ball, and it's good at the moment because we've scored our second goal. That was actually kind of nice, but I think it might be offside. No, it's not. So a second goal is a real beauty. The Regista working with the advanced forward, the advanced forward pushing through, and then he releases the other advanced forward who goes on to score the goal, which is the reason why advanced forward pairing is not such a bad idea in Football Manager. If you're playing out from the back, it's very important to make sure that these two roles or these two players are not the sort that are going to just hoof the ball forward. Things you want to avoid. Volantes will play killer balls, right? So this is something that you got to be very careful of. In this particular case, there is this tendency for Tonali to want to play the ball over the top. We want to minimize that as far as possible and leave it to really only one player to do it. Now Fabian gets the ball, he plays it over the top. You can see we lose possession of the ball over here, but our shape allows us to win the ball back, and then with some triangular passes we are able to release the advanced forward who takes the defense on, takes a shot, and then our other striker picks up the pieces and scores the goal. Okay, here the opposition are trying to work the ball out from defense. Here the opposition are trying to work the ball out from defense. We are not using. Here the opposition are working the ball out from defense, and we aren't using maximum pressing. So watch what happens. Militao gets the ball. Aliba, Modric, our defenders are in this position. There is Benzema waiting to hit the line. Modric looks for him. Koulibaly reads the pass. But more importantly, Bremer was in the perfect position to track the run of this player because we don't have maximum pressing on. And then the pass is met by Lozano. I can't stress this enough. We are playing on balanced mentality and we're trying to keep the ball on the ground. Tonali plays it to Lozano. Lozano plays it to Tonali. And then watch what happens when Muriel gets the ball. When Muriel gets the ball and turns, we've got an advanced forward waiting to hit the line. The entire pocket is opened up. And the striker goes in to get the fourth goal. So this is a fairly comfortable 4-1 win over Real Madrid. What about some other formations? So our next tactic is going to be a 4-1-3-2. It's pretty simple. We got a target forward and advanced forward, box-to-box midfielders on the left and the right. They've both been told to tackle harder. We got a Regista. I want this to be a mobile block. Then we've got two wingbacks on attack told to mark tighter. We're going to have a sweeper, keeper, much higher line of engagement. But what we're going to do now is we're going to drop this. Now drop this to make it a standard block. We're going to draw teams in and then funnel them inside and tackle them harder in the middle. So this player has to be told to tackle harder. All right, we've done all this. And now we're off to play our match against Borussia Dortmund. Against Borussia Dortmund, what we're going to do is we're going to tight mark Haaland, wrong foot the two of them, and tight mark Royce as well. Guerrero with the ball to Haaland. Guerrero looks long. Royce gets inside. Not an easy chance. Ospina gathers that straight away. We got the ball. So here we have to look for see whether we can move the ball up the pitch. Fabian back to Diego Dem, finds Zielinski. We get away from the press relatively easily with the wing back lashing at the shot. Well, that's too bad. I'm only worried about long shots at the moment. Jude Bellingham, good clearance. Reina out to Mori. Goes down, looks for options. Again, Witzel. We're going to make one change. I just realized that we should be playing with whip crosses. Okay, coming in here, going in here. We're going to do whip crosses. They play the ball out to Guerrero, the wingback. Jude Bellingham, Hummels, looks long. Yeah, Haaland is being marked tightly when he gets the ball. Two players got on top of him, or rather put him under some pressure so he couldn't release the pass or get the shot away. Bremer, oh, he loses out to Marlon. That was a poor first touch. good defending. We didn't give up too much space. Mario Rui turns, looks for Bremer, looks long, and then Hateboa is through. He finds Dries Mertens, and it's almost in. Okay, there's 82 minutes left on the clock. What we're going to do is now pass, hit early cross. Man, we almost got the winner there. Playing a defensive game at the moment, right? So countering them, holding our position, and now when teams generally defenders get tired towards the end of the game, so that's what we're trying to exploit. Koulibaly, I mean, we could also run into some trouble ourselves. Dries Mertens, yeah, the keeper's kick was good. Oh, it's gone to Marlon. Marlon is in. What a block from one of our players. Got to defend the corner. Cleared again. Dries Mertens gets there. It's going to be a counter. Dries Mertens is going all the way. He chips and fails to find the back of the net. Again, we go looking. They're not going to get many options. The players all being marked quite well. They're not also moving out of position. Right? The lines are all being blocked. They're not getting easy options. They have to go down the flanks. Shots blocked. Another chance for us. Witsel, and the ball's out to touch. Well, this game, both teams had an equal chance of winning, but the idea here was for me to try a low block, right? So what we have set up is a more defensive way of playing against certain teams using two formations. There are many other formations you can do this with. You can set it up in a 4-3, like the Portuguese diamond, something very common in Portugal. You see systems like this, and this is another setup you can do it with. And again, you can elect to drop this, but here you can have a prevent shot goalkeeper distribution because you're actually going to have 4 of these players who can go and put pressure. Usually when you do prevent shot goalkeeper distribution, 1, 2, 3, 4 will all go up and apply pressure on the back line. What I would recommend is hard tackling, Klose Amor, hard tackle, and Mark Titan, and these 3 players as well. And this role. So this becomes your mobile attacking force. These wingbacks can always be, their duties can always be changed depending on the situation you find yourself in. Now, these 2 roles are going to make it very hard for opposition sides to create chances. So you can actually do this then, right? And once again, you're funneling play into this area. You're forcing them into this area, and then all these 3 players tackle harder. And then when you win the ball back, you can release these kind of players quickly. And here we've got a situation where we want to take advantage of that, distribute quickly, distribute the flanks. So the common thread here is whenever I have more players down the flanks, I will distribute to the flanks if I get a chance to. And you can set the tactics up in such a way so that you can draw teams in and then hit them. The goal here is, of course, what do you do with your block? Now here I've got this set to slightly less often, but if you notice, these guys all tackling harder, right? This guy has been told to move into channel, so he's going to move in between the spaces. Other than that, everybody else will be told to tackle harder. In fact, I should set this guy to tackle harder. Yeah. What about striker setups? Now, striker setups aren't too difficult to create. Striker systems by nature are a low block, right? Because they don't have another tier. What you're trying to do with striker systems, you're trying to create more vertical channels. But that's going to be a video for another day. Well, the goal was to show you different ways you can set up your system so that you can take advantage of teams that are attacking you aggressively. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's show. You found it useful. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. Once again, I want to thank you for all your support. You're a fantastic bunch, and I love you a lot. You guys stay safe. Take care of each other. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.